To walk you through EA Sports, Rory McIlroy. Today, two of the top players in the world. Rory McIlroy holding a one-shot lead over Martin Keimer. It's the FOS Open Championship at Chambers Bay.
Going into the final round of any golf tournament with a chance to win, especially a major championship, it's a huge buzz. That's the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling a golfer can have because you're in the mix and you're in with a chance to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's an incredible feeling. It's something that you may only get to experience a handful of times in your life. So, that atmosphere, you want to soak it in as much as you can and really enjoy it.
Rory McIlroy coming off a strong performance yesterday, now making his way to that first tee box and looking to add another major championship trophy to his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot under their belt.
The first tee shot is the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, there he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open winner, set to tee off on what could be an historic day of golf, set against the beautiful Puget Sound. Frank, looked like a nice balanced swing.
Well, the free-flowing action that we find synonymous with Rory McIlroy in display, even under the nervousness of an opening tee shot in the final round of the U.S. Open, and just blitzed it down the fairway.
That one carried a long way, stayed up in the sky forever. A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Perfect lie here, Frank. What's Rory got?
Well, expect something just slightly right of the flag. You want to avoid the hill and the bunkers on the right, and there's a little bit of a gut or a chasm just over that left side of the green. So left, not a good option.
About 145 yards away.
Safely on deck.
Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet, so a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
Opportunity to put pressure on Keimer right out of the gate.
No, it's uphill, Rich. It should, if anything, move to the right. Just depends on the speed of this putt, whether it's left edge or outside.
This would be a huge momentum swing. This one's for birdie.
And early advantage, McIlroy.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second, and McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. Frank, I know it's early, but if he drops this could really spark some momentum for the round.
But this putt will be very, very quick. You've got to be careful because the ball can quite easily take off once it gets past the hole.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does.
In the world of professional golf, there exists an elite club. A club filled with legends, household names, and rising stars. A club where membership is earned yearly with time, sweat, and dedication. This week, 50 players will gain entry into this exclusive fellowship. The top 25 from the regular season have already secured their spots, and another 25 spots are up for grabs here this week. Some dreams will be realized. Others will have to wait another day. Who will be next to join the likes of Jason Duffner, Grant Snedeker, and Keegan Bradley as the next great Web.com Tour graduate?
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. This is the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. Pressure-packed environment. 50 PGA Tour cards are up for grabs. Frank, this is a great day for golf, and the conditions here at Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, look to be really good.
Rich, scoring conditions are absolutely optimal today. Expect to see a lot of low numbers.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, the second here at the fourth is a dangerous shot.
Once again, this is another example of where you have to look at the green. Where exactly is the flag? If it's on that high portion, you've got to fly it all the way back.
Frank, as we watch the Web.com Tour Finals, anyone in particular you think could be a breakout star, someone like a Keegan Bradley who jumped right out onto the PGA Tour and won the PGA Championship in his first ever start in a major?
Well, this player that I'm looking at right now, yes, and I mean you out there. Look at that. A prodigy since the age of 2. A lot of people in the golf world have just been waiting for you to finally get to this point. And, well, time for me to watch, time for you to play.
down.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, that looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Let's go over to the 5th hole. With a key stretch of holes ahead, our featured golfer really has struggled in the early going, Frank.
Yeah, a few mistakes out there, unforced errors you might want to say. So really, attention to detail should be the concern right now.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Well played here, went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Oh, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the 6th.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit it a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Missed the fairway in the fairway bunker now.
It's not all gloom and doom, though. Lip isn't too high. A good swing here still shouldn't be a problem.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club?
Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the green side bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. And getting ready for the putt. Well, not in contention, but in for par. Seventh hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Difficult greens to hit, Frank.
It's a really weird tee shot here. You have those three little pop bunkers down the right, and then that bunker that meanders once again all the way down the left side. The bunker that's just slightly right of the canal. Very awkward angle off the tee.
That's in the fairway. Strategically, Frank, how do you like to play this hole?
You've got to be aware of where you don't want to go. That front right bunker is probably the easiest bunker shot on this hole, but there's a little pop bunker on the left. That one there, always difficult to get it up and down.
Just came over that one a bit, enough to tug it to the left, and plenty of work still to go. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one. Even par, currently.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Frank's 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s, justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is, longest of the 4 par 3s, plus it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in, because it never made it.
Frank, this is just an embarrassing performance.
There's no crying in golf, Rich.
Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 ninth hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true 3-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Second from an excellent lie. Now the third shot here at the ninth, Frank.
Another very narrow green, not that dissimilar to the first hole. There's a high portion on the left and a low portion on the right.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult. Another good swing, another good approach shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner Frank Nobilo and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the TPC Sawgrass and EA Sports. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. That's a nice way to open. Frank, you want to get off to a good start. This approach shot here at the first is important.
It is. Two distinct levels on this this green, the high side on the left there and the lower side on the right. If you're trying to keep that ball a little left of a middle, you've got to be careful of that bunker on the left.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just 5 feet left. Frank well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better. Frank, what do you make of the par 5 second?
Doglegs to the left, so there's a decision to be made here all the time, but a good hooking tee shot, that takes the trees on the left out of play, and even the rough on the right. Good tee shot here. I've seen people get home with as little as a 5-iron.
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Settles in over the putt. So close. Just a tap in from there. Makeable putt right here. Currently sitting at 1 under for the round. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. So we started with a par 4, then a par 5, and now the 177-yard par 3 third hole. Plenty of hazards here, Frank.
Yeah, you really break this green up into 3 portions. Front left, front right, and that back, just on top of the ridge.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
And setting up here in the rough. Pretty good shot right there. Doesn't want to let this one get away. She needs this for par. Good effort and good par putt. Frank, how would you describe the bunker all along the right here at number 4?
Well, it looks like it never stops. It covers really the entire length of that tee shot down the right side.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
This one measures out at 135 yards.
Rich, you have to go back to 1983. That's when they started the all-exempt tour. And it took a few years before they started a second tour.
Well, you don't want to compound the error. Out of bounds and now back on the tee with a provisional. This one has to be in play. Now, this will be counted as the 4th shot after going OB on that previous shot. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
These putts keep the round together. That is so painful when you come up that short.
Why is it that putts on line come up short.
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Well, she just played a wonderful shot from back there. Getting set now over the putt. Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. All right, hole number 11 here at the TPC Sawgrass, 558-yard, par 5, no shortage of options, no shortage of hazards, Frank.
If there's one hole at TPC Sawgrass where you can literally leap out of your shoes, this is it. Second shot.
Frank, from this point, it is all about precision.
Yeah, that right side, you're looking at that big gaping bunker. And that green's not very deep from that angle.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. That's costly right there.
Painful. Even par, currently.
Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old links, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Dialed in once again. She has played a superb approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Frank, 17 gets so much attention here at the TPC Sawgrass, but 13, par 3, is exciting in its own right.
It is, and it's actually more difficult than 17. One of the reasons it's longer, and also the green here. 17 obviously has two sections in it, front and top. This has, I don't think there's a flat piece on it. And every now and again we watch the ball roll all over this green and actually find the cup for the odd ace.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop. Not a problem there, Rich. It's no snack, though.
Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. That happened to the other 1%.
Blemish on the scorecard. A bogey. Frank, the 14th hole. A lot has happened here over the years.
I think it's the litmus test on the back nine. That's where things really start to heat up. It looks like a straightforward tee shot, but often water down the left side. And of course, if you think about that, you invariably fire the ball towards the right, where those hillocks and thick rough is, and virtually no chance of reaching the par 4 and 2. Rich, I don't think any player at the top of the game, when they play TPC Sawgrass, they ever feel in control of their game. It's one golf course, and you'll see it too when you're playing on EA Sports, that each hole just sort of almost puts you deliberately off balance, and you can never feel like you're on top of your game. That, in a weird way, is the brilliance of TPC Sawgrass.
Well, that's what Pete Dye always set out to do. It wasn't so much what he built, but how he made you think about the round you were playing. He wanted to get inside your head. He wanted to play games with you. He wanted you thinking about that shot at 17, maybe while you were on the 11th hole, so that you were thrown off while you were playing 11 because maybe you heard a roar at 17, or maybe the wind was gusting in a certain way that it threw a thought in your mind that, oh my goodness, when you get to 17, I might be in a little trouble. All about the games he played mentally with the best in the world. Continuing to putt with confidence. Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
Quite simply, great weather, great golf, great fans, which is the perfect mix for a golfer trying to win a tournament. The final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Frank, you're one behind. Sunday afternoon, you're trying to win one of the game's great championships. Is this a spot that you love as a competitor, the 16th hole of par 5, with a chance to make a lot of noise?
It's a spot you cannot hide from, Rich, because you know exactly there. If you haven't looked at a scoreboard, you can feel it from the atmosphere. Well, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Second shot coming up here at the par 5. This one doesn't look good.
There's water.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. This now the fourth shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green.
Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Literally no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Well, Frank, as the old British announcers used to say, it's a watery grave. But every year, quite a few golf balls are actually rescued and brought back to life.
Well, if you think of the championship, back in 2007, 93 of the best in the world found the lake. The recreational player, in a year, 100,000 golf balls were dredged out.
That's good business. That one was running so hot. Solid play, heart of the green. These putts keep the round together. Well, not going to be too happy with that one. Well done. Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Now the approach shot here to 18, just one last good swing, Frank.
There's a little false front here that you have to avoid, so something that pitches over that right bunker that lands a good 10 or so yards on this green is certainly the desired goal.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Good chance here. Well, once you're on the green, I think you know this. The idea is to keep it on the green. This one's on the fringe. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Well, that'll wrap up our coverage of the final round. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports. We'll see you next week. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
This is checking in on the action now. Let's go down to the 6th. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away. Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Frank, what should the golfers be looking out for today?
Going to have to play well from tee to green for a start. That's where most of the problem is. It sets up beautifully for what we call a second shot golf course. Providing you can get the ball in play, you will get rewarded for good iron play around here. The reason why is because when you miss, you're penalized.
Teeing off to start the round here at PGA West. This first hole is
The longest hitters won't hit driver down here, Rich. 3 wood at that bunker if you are really, really long. Otherwise, sort of try and squeeze that driver down the left side. Shorten this hole up a little bit because it plays every inch of that 450 yards.
long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's costly right there.
Painful.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. 2-1 over par early on in this round. Second hole's just 371 yards. Frank, are players licking their chops thinking they need to make a three here?
Yeah, if you can just accept the fact that you're going to have a longer second shot than you'd think for a hole of 370 yards, then that's the first way to overcome this. Just put yourself a short iron in your hand. Do the attacking with the second shot.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Good chance for birdie here, short iron in hand. The approach now to the second hole. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And setting up here in the rough. Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Frank, Pete Dye certainly gives you a variety of holes, and we see that. Granted, 3 par 4s to start, but each one with a different look.
They certainly are, Rich, and it's amazing what one good bunker will do. And the bunker I'm referring to is the one down the left side. That's about 285 yards to carry. It's the sort of bunker that keeps you honest.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Getting set now for the second shot here at hole number 3, par 4. Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Oh, that hurts. Wow. Just a couple of feet. Good par. Frank, this is our first par 3 of the day. The fourth, about 192 yards.
And it's called sandpit. So if you're not on the green, chances are you're getting that lob wedge or sand wedge out. Green is 36 yards deep. Got a nice little sort of hump and hollow roll to it. Mini roller coaster.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Still playing even for the day after the par. Well, here we are at the first par 5 of the day. The fifth, 535 yards. Frank, break it down.
It's called double trouble. Reason why, there's the lake on the tee shot on the left side, and then he's reversed it up there on the second shot. He put the lake on the right. game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5.